there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Libra energy. And like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Libra energy. The bottom row is going to be a more worldly focused or shadowy type of Libra energy. And it could be a battle just going on within yourself or other people in the world instead of involving other people. Because we all have this dualistic nature and we all have our worldly nature and kind of hate to change and kind of would like to be able to do life the way we've been doing it. And so some people could be struggling within themselves. Other people have definitely learned some hard lessons in life, and they definitely know they're ready to do life differently, and they're definitely moving forward in high vibe Libra energy. Believing in themselves, believing in their dreams, going to think differently, perceive themselves differently, perceive life differently, have just learned some life lessons. And in that case, the shadowy energy could be some other people in their life who haven't seen life that way yet, have some lessons to learn in life, and they're kind of moving forward in life differently at this point in time. And then there's some people who have definitely decided that they're not doing love, they could get hurt doing love, or they don't want to be just and fair in relationships, or they don't want to act with character and integrity, or they're just more motivated and inspired by the world, and that's what they're focused on. And, you know, it's the difference between being enlightened to the truth and, you know, our shadow nature is about not seeing things clearly and not seeing the truth and having some lessons learned. So anyway, we'll read it from a couple different perspectives here. Ooh, that's too many. If I can just get one or two more cards for the bottom row. Nope, that's too many. Not 10. One or two is good. All right. Okay, the reason for the top rows reading is the Ace of Wands. Being inspired, listening to your intuition. The reason for the shadowy nature is the Ten of Swords, living more from your mind than your heart. Maybe giving up on your dreams, maybe not willing to take bold, brave, inspired action in your life, thinking, you know, let's just live more from our mind than our heart. Let's keep doing life the way we've done it. Let's take a look at the bottom row first. We have the Hangman, the Nine of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Five of Wands. What do we do when things didn't work out the way we wanted things, didn't go the way we wanted things to go? We have the free will choice because we've all got free will. We all have this dualistic nature. Do I take inspired action to keep believing in my dreams? Up here we have a card not showing itself, the Three of Swords, which could be that if we knew some people who in their Libra energy, because the Four of Swords is Libra energy, if we know some people in our life who instead of healing and meditating on the truth and taking action in truth and love and justice and fairness and balance, if we know some people who maybe when they've been hurt and things didn't go the way they thought, they instead take action, living more from their mind than their heart, or maybe from their shadowy nature, you know, maybe being immature or impulsive or prideful or egotistical or emotionally defensive, or think, I'm going to go indulge in things of the world. That's the answer. When things don't go the way we want, and maybe other people are unwilling to speak their truth, take action in truth, or just unwilling to work with us in truth and love to heal, we have to accept the truth of it. That's one option people had. And some people did that. They said, I accept that you are not wanting to heal things with me. You know, you've been hurt before. I've been hurt before. You don't, maybe I could have hurt you. You could have hurt me. I see that you're not willing to heal things. So in the Queen of Cups energy, it's like, I wish you peace, because love is what helps us heal. And when some people in life went through some painful, difficult situations, some people, instead of being in their shadow nature, decided to offer love to the situation. And then in the High Priestess, they listened to their intuition. And in the Three of Wands, they believed in themselves and believed in their dreams. And in the Emperor, they decided to take action on their dreams. I have a dream. I'm going to make a decision to take action on my dreams. And why are they able to do that? Well, for one, they operate from a foundation of love instead of like fear, insecurity, ego, envy, jealousy, competitiveness, revenge, whatever. They offered love to the situation and listened to their intuition. And the Six of Cups can talk about, because I love myself and I want to take action from a place of love. So I don't like run my life off into the ditch, acting from pride and ego and fear and insecurity. I want to listen to my intuition to guide me, which the High Priestess, the queens in tarot can talk about our emotional state. So it doesn't matter if people are male or female. The High Priestess is like your higher self, you know. If I were to look back on this in 10 years, how would I like to imagine I would handle this? That's how I'm going to handle it. I'm going to handle it in a way that I can be proud of, because I want my dreams to come into reality. And if I act in shadowy ways and take action out of shadow, envy, jealousy, competitiveness, revenge, that's not good soil to try to build a wonderful life on. And so they make the decision with the Six of Cups that I am going to maintain balance within myself emotionally and offer love to the past so that I can reconcile myself with the past, accept what is, wish people peace, and I'm going to have a new beginning. Sadly, some people don't do that, and when they go through something where they feel betrayed or heartbroken or things like that, things didn't go the way they wanted, they could feel stuck in the Hangman. And they're kind of we can all feel stuck. Well, what do we do when we feel stuck? The Hangman is, we feel stuck in life because it's giving us the opportunity to look at life differently. How do we perceive ourselves in the world around us? How do we view like relationships? Because the Hangman is Pisces energy, and Pisces energy also is like, I had a dream, But were we in fantasy land? Were we kind of stubborn and prideful and egotistical and think that even if I'm not healed and I refuse to see the truth and I refuse to reconcile myself with the past, I still am stuck in the past and about things that happened in my past, and I'm still in my ego about it? Well, we could see the truth about it. We could offer love to it, except that people are fallible human beings who make mistakes. We could have dealt with other people who are prideful and egotistical. We could have dealt with, in the Nine of Pentacles, we could have dealt with people who were more driven and motivated by the world and money and image and status, and maybe they weren't very loving and nurturing like we would have liked them to have been. And that can make us feel backstabbed and betrayed and make us feel stuck, because we could have thought people should have been more loving and nurturing, and they weren't. Well, are we willing to offer ourselves the love that we wish those people would have given us? Are we completely supposed to be stuck because some people in the world didn't like us, weren't kind to us, were unloving, unkind, unjust, unfair, selfish, greedy, materialistic? Because the Nine of Pentacles can be people who are more motivated by the world. The Queen of Swords can be people who are more motivated and inspired by looking like victorious and successful in the world, looking like a shining star in the world. But maybe people who don't really connect in with their emotions and their intuition to guide them, they could be people who live more from their mind than their heart and could possibly be a little emotionally cold and detached. Well, that can make us feel backstabbed and betrayed and stuck. Well, how do we get out of that? We love ourselves and we listen to our intuition, and the truth sets us free. Are we willing to admit that some people in our life might have been more worldly driven, ego driven, might have been a little emotionally cold and detached, maybe shadowy Aquarius? They don't have to be an Aquarius sun sign, but it's just how people harness their Aquarius energy. Some people could have been a little more kind of self-centered and egotistical in a way, like you get in a family dynamic, but everybody else is supposed to put aside their pride and ego, but never them. And if we deal with people like that we wish had been more loving and been more intuitive about what we wanted and needed in a relationship, either when we were growing up as children or just as we work with people in the world, are we willing to see the truth? Sometimes, you know, the Five of Wands can be people who are really kind of competitive in relationships, and who likes to be in a relationship with people who are competitive, because it's kind of like you're the opponent for them to defeat. And we can have children who treat us like that. As a parent, as a child, we can have a parent who always has to win. Again, it's kind of a little, this Queen of Swords is kind of coming across like a little bit my way or the highway. And in high vibe, the Five of Wands could be that people were in relationships with people like this, and they wanted in the Five of Wands for things to change, and for people to take more creative inspired action in the relationship, to put an end to kind of being stubborn and prideful and making it more about money or materialism or ego, and to change and put an end to that and be loving, and make better decisions in the relationship, so that the dreams come into reality for everyone who's involved. Not just, well, no, my wants and needs are more important. Your wants and needs are less. It's all about me in a way. Some people could have loved some people and wanted their dreams to come into reality, but the person in their life could have harnessed shadowy Aries energy, where it's like kind of bossy and controlling, and then they turn their back in the Six of Cups to working together with people in that more hopeful, believing, childlike nature and energy, where everybody can authentically be themselves, which would enable everybody to move forward, where everybody kind of grows and matures themselves because they're operating from a foundation of love and trying, a high vibe emperor would be someone, male or female, who's a good leader. A good leader, like in a family or in a workplace or in a friend group. But sometimes some people, because they're kind of in a position of authority, which can be a parent or a boss or just someone who kind of likes to take a leadership role in situations, sometimes those people abuse their power. And they could know that other people have dreams and motivations of their own, would like them to work together with them more cooperatively. But some people can feel like, if I do that, I'm defensive to change, because the fives in tarot can talk about change. I'm defensive to change because that means I would have to put an end to operating more from my egoic or worldly or emotionally defensive nature. And that can leave people feeling vulnerable. I'd let my more vulnerable nature out to play in the world. And, some people feel, but then I wouldn't be controlling the situation, and, I'd be kind of vulnerable. And so then there's some people, they haven't done that work within themselves to be that type of person. And instead, they kind of, it might even make them feel stuck and cause them inner conflict. But if they're unwilling to, the Nine of Pentacles is Virgo energy, if they're unwilling to invest time, energy, and effort to have some hope and faith and belief, because that's what high vibe Aquarius energy would be, and to, Have some hope and faith and belief in other people, and have some hope and faith and belief in love that, maybe if I quit being kind of defensive and fearful, what if I did let love and intuition guide me? What if I did believe in the dream where I didn't have to try to stay in control of everything in order to make me feel at peace? Because, we're talking about Libra energy. And, why do people do what they do? Probably because it helps them maintain a sense of feeling balanced within themselves. And sadly, the way some people maintain a sense of not feeling out of control is to be controlling. And some people could have grown up and known people like that in their life who, even though they would have liked things to change and they wished people had worked together with them more lovingly, they could have had people in their life who didn't. And then some of those people felt backstabbed and betrayed, and they haven't learned yet that it's about loving themselves and giving themselves the things that they wish other people would have given them. Because otherwise, we can always feel we're kind of like turning our back on our own inner child nature and loving ourselves. We don't need. The thing is, people that stay in shadowy energy emotionally, they keep repeating this pattern of the past because they haven't seen the truth of it yet. And part of that can be because they don't want to see the truth about some people in their life that they might love, some people in their life who might have ended a relationship with them, either because they love them and they don't want to see the truth that some of the people in their life who were some people just don't want to see the truth. Let's see. I got some Libra cards over here. One of the Libra cards is the Two of Swords. I don't want to see the truth. I want to be in denial of the truth. Some people love people that they could have grown up with or were in a relationship with, and they don't want to see the truth that some of those people kind of could have had these shadowy ways of being. Some of them don't want to see that they have these shadowy ways of being. Some people, where if this is within themselves, they could have a lot of mental conflict about change. And so I emotionally like living my life the way I've lived it. I like living my life more from my egoic nature. I don't want to look at life from any other perspective. Life's about the world and looking like a shining star in the world. And basically, they could feel that if they get in relationships with people who have a different viewpoint of life, who maybe don't live more from their mind than their heart and try not to backstab and sabotage themselves, who have hope and faith and belief in their dreams, and they want to kind of be, true leaders in the world, where I want to be more bold and brave and confident. I want to heal from the past, to reconcile myself with the past, so I'm not continuing to make decisions in my life out of past pain and heartbreak, fear, insecurity, pride, ego, immaturity. I want to heal some of my past pain and heartbreak and my self-limiting beliefs so that I can keep, reconciling myself with the past, offering love to the past so that I can keep moving forward in my life, growing and maturing myself to my full potential. That would be high vibe energy, being a true leader in the world. And some people are like, that is way outside my comfort zone. I do not. If that's what it takes to be a true leader in the world, no thank you. That would require me to kind of quit making my life maybe about thinking it's practical and logical to make my life about the world. Because if I do love, I could get hurt. The truth is it should be about the world. It either should be, I want to indulge in the world and make my life about indulgence, or I think I should, the practical logical thing and the way of the world is if you have money and status and image, you're viewed as very successful. And that's how I've decided to live my life. People who love themselves can have stability and security and enjoy the finer things in life too. They just make the foundation of their life making decisions from love and listening to their intuition instead of like money and materialism and ego be the deciding factor for the decisions they make. Sometimes if a person who has a more worldly view of life gets into a relationship with someone who is more connected in with their emotions and their intuition, they can like being in a relationship with someone like that. And the loving people can get in a relationship with someone who might be a little more worldly focused. The only thing is, the loving people didn't realize the shadowy person hadn't healed. And instead of being more just and fair and like truthful and honest and things in a relationship, they might be someone who protects their more worldly, egoic nature and materialistic nature. And sometimes people get in a mismatched relationship, and they didn't realize that, oh, I didn't realize that it was kind of all about ego and image and money and materialism. And then if they get in a mismatched relationship, the person who's more worldly focused can think, oh my gosh, I felt stuck. Someone came along who seems very abundant in lots of ways. This is perfect. I'm going to get in a relationship with them. It's good for my ego and my image and my status, and it makes me look like a shining star. The only thing is, the shadowy people were hiding that their dream is more about being in a relationship, maybe for the ego and the image and the status and the money and materialism, and kind of indulging themselves in the relationship. And they think that's everybody else should indulge in the relationship and stay in the relationship for those same reasons. It looks victorious and successful. We've got the image, we've got the status, we got the money. No, let's not do anything to bother trying to heal from the past or reconcile ourselves with the past. And let's not take any bold, brave, creative action in our life. This is it. No more. 10 of Swords, that's it. We get in a relationship. You make your life about me. We compete in the world, and it's all about making it look like our dreams have come into reality. Oh my gosh, I have masterminded this. I am the boss. Well, they get in relationships with people who the end all be all isn't money and materialism and status and image. I thought it was going to be about having, high vibe Scorpio is water sign energy, and it's about exploring the mysteries of life. Being in deep, meaningful relationship, exploring the highs and lows where people are able to be authentic and vulnerable in a relationship. Who are inspired by love. And some of the loving people didn't realize that they got in a relationship with someone who could have presented themselves as harnessing high vibe Libra energy. Oh no. I'm not selfish, I'm not greedy, I'm not prideful, I'm not self-centered, I'm not egotistical, I'm not bossy and controlling. And for a long time, it could have seemed like they maybe weren't. Sometimes people's more shadowy nature doesn't, as long as you're loving them and nurturing them and making them the center of your universe, it's fine. But when you start to, also love yourself, and that's what they didn't know about you with the Three of Swords not showing itself. They didn't know they could be people who operate more from their egoic nature and their worldly nature. And they could have thought you lived your life that way too, because I do think we tend to think other people are like us, and loving people think other people are loving and that they're motivated to shed some of their fears and insecurities and, to let those things go and, move forward in life. And other people who might be more, I view, well, no, that's a transitionary and Aquarius. Aquarius, though, is a fixed sign. But, the whole thing is, the Three of Wands is, I'm expecting my dreams to come into reality. I've taken this action, and I'm waiting for my ship of dreams to come into shore. When's it going to come into reality? Because these are kind of like emotional, intuitive energies. I've maybe put in this work and effort, and I'm expecting my dreams to come in to reality. And the Queen of Swords is about having a dream emotionally also. And that's when you could kind of realize that your dream is about people knowing their worth and value and putting in work and effort to have hope and faith and belief and love and high vibe Aquarius energy, and to see the truth that life isn't about repeating these past patterns, because how does anything change? We've went from caveman days to today. How do things change? It's when people say, the things that I've been doing, eventually we feel stuck. Because it's the same old thing over and over. Just like when we're age 15, eventually we kind of give up some ways of being to become more like an 18-year-old. And then eventually we give up some of those ways of being to be more bold and brave and confident to become like a 21-year-old. And, we keep going through that process in life. And some people are like, kind of like, no, I did have to do that when I was young to kind of keep up with my peer group. Kind of have the social pressure of it. But now that I might have these things of the world, I'm like, good. I don't have to do any of that anymore. I'm good. I look successful in the world. I don't have to deal with any of my fears or insecurities that stop me from moving forward in life. I'm good. I got these things of the world. I'm either good looking, I got charisma, I've got charm, I've got money, I've got status, I've got a job, whatever. I look like I got my dreams going on here. And if I can get in a relationship with someone who's maybe loving and nurturing to me, oh my gosh, why would we ever want to change any of that? This is perfect. So everybody has their own idea in their Libra energy of what the just and fair life is, what the just and fair relationship is, their own ideas of what they think is just and fair in a relationship. And some people think it's just and fair to be stubborn and prideful. Some people think it's to be all about them. Some people think it's just and fair to be the boss, that they should be in control, That's how you get your dreams to come into reality. We don't change. So they have this way of living life that they love, and that's how they want to keep living life. If any of you are in a relationship with someone like that, I think eventually you realize that you can stay in a relationship with someone who is so defensive to change and reconciling themselves with the past so that they can take what they've learned from that life experience and add on it and put their own spin on it and kind of make it their own. Some people are really afraid of that because they could have, again, grown up with people who maybe were kind of controlling. And then they might want to get in a relationship with someone else in a way who controls them like that, because they never have to take creative inspired action. They never have to reconcile themselves with the past. Whatever their thing is. Anyway, some of you could have been in something like that. You realize that this person is unwilling to change, and you didn't want to be in a relationship with someone like that. So you decided to believe in yourself. You offered love to the past so that you could move on. Now, some other people could have been in a relationship with those loving type of people. And it was kind of like, like creating an illusion. This really isn't. How do I get in a relationship with someone like this? Oh my God, I'm working with people that want me to be in a more deep, meaningful relationship, take inspired action in my life. Oh my God, is there not someone I could get in a relationship with that kind of lives life like me? And they could have decided to turn their back on the loving people in their life and decide they wanted to be single. And they could have either done things to cause problems in the relationship, so either the loving people would move away, or some of them could have decided, I'm ending it because I want to be in relationships with people who might feel stuck, who might have money. And then I can be in a relationship with them, and then they view me as like this loving person, and they won't probably know for quite a while that I really kind of like people looking up to me like I'm a shining star who came into their life. And if I get in a relationship with people who've healed and they're just and balanced within themselves and they're bold and brave and confident within themselves, then it's kind of like, I don't know, they don't view me as like the end all be all in their life, and Their life has to revolve around me because I'm the center of their universe. And if it weren't for me being in their life, they wouldn't feel loved. And. So sometimes some shadowy people present themselves as loving people, and they feel like a loving person so long as the person they're in a relationship with doesn't see the truth that it might be more out of their ego that they kind of like this mismatched dynamic in a relationship. And it is kind of like you're their child and you're supposed to view them as this loving, nurturing person. They kind of want you codependent on them. And if you're stuck and you're single and you're attractive or charming or got money, they're like, perfect. Oh my gosh, with you, I look like I got it going on. I'm victorious and successful. But the only thing is this pattern kind of can end up keep repeating in their life because the other people maybe wanted to get in a relationship with someone who they could have viewed as stable and grounded and successful in life and viewed them as loving. But eventually, people aren't looking for someone to be like their parent because what happens in a parent child dynamic, eventually you want to separate and kind of be on more level playing ground. And eventually, people do this work within themselves to heal from their past pain and heartbreak and love themselves and believe in themselves and kind of come into their own. And they want a more balanced relationship. And that's when some of these shadowy people, it's like, you've changed. You know, and the whole thing is now you're not like in that codependent energy on them to be your end all be all. You could still love them, whatever, but they don't like that other people have changed because it requires them to change, and they don't want to change. They want to maybe not be in more balanced relationships. They might not want to be in more deep, meaningful relationships. It's kind of like, I'm the authority figure. You should listen to me, you know, and kind of like I'm the boss. And if you're not going to do things my way, then I'm going to be defensive to you and I want to become single from you because the way I feel in my mind that I'm this loving person is not to be in an equally balanced loving relationship, but for me to seem like the savior who comes in to help someone who feels stuck and hasn't healed. And then they look to me as like their savior, and they're not supposed to like love and believe in themselves. You're supposed to continue to be codependent on me so I can be the bossy, controlling person in your life. You know? So, some of you have already went through a relationship like that. Some people are in the midst of a relationship like that. Some people could love someone. Isn't it crazy that some people can be in a relationship with someone and they really think that person is something else, you know? And they're so afraid of the competition. I'm so afraid someone who loves someone wants a dream to come into reality, to work together with them and have a new beginning. And someone else might be staying single, not like maybe becoming a marriage partner to them. And the whole reason is that they hide is, you know, it's like viewing someone else as like, wow, you're really loving, you're really nurturing, you're stable, you're grounded, you're balanced, blah, blah, blah. I'm afraid of the competition, so I'm going to end the relationship with you. I'm so afraid someone else is going to come in and want their dreams to come into reality with you. I'm so afraid that instead of you staying in a relationship with me, that you'll go get in a relationship with someone else. Well, that's one way they could handle it, which is sabotaging themselves and sabotaging their dreams. Or they could figure out, why am I so defensive to the competition? You know, why don't I think I have what it takes for you to want to stay in a relationship with me? And part of it could be because of relationships in their past that didn't work out, and some past pain and heartbreak that they haven't dealt with. And until they deal with it, they could keep sabotaging relationships, always so afraid that someone is of the competition and that they'll get backstabbed and betrayed. So then sometimes some people are like, I know, yep, I don't want to work with you, even though it would be loving and inspired and it'd be like a dream come true. No, I think I'll go get in a relationship with someone who maybe isn't very healed, who might be kind of stubborn and prideful and egotistical, but if they have money and I get in a relationship with them, well, then it looks like I have it all, right? And shadowy Aries energy can be, you know, I'm going to be having sex with someone, I'll have sex with them. And that way, I don't have to worry about the competition because I don't think anybody's going to want to be in a relationship with them. You know, some of those people left a loving relationship to go get in a relationship with someone who might have felt stuck and had money and, you know, by worldly standards looked successful. And some of them, those people could have thought, I know, I'll go present myself as loving to them. And then I don't have to worry about the competition. And even though it might cause me inner conflict that I backstab some people that I could have moved forward with in a relationship and really grown into my full potential, because I don't believe that either I can change or I'm so fearful of being backstabbed, I'm going to let those people go and I'm going to go get in a relationship with this person. Some of you already know people who did that. Some people are going to do that right now. Sometimes when people are in shadowy energy, you know, they have the free will choice and they have the choice to be open and honest and authentic and, you know, be truthful about their fears and insecurities that they had. And if they had done that, you know, all of that probably could have been put to rest. You know, it's like, honey, I love you. You know, I want to move forward with you, you know? And then, you know, but when, you know, the shadow is about keeping things hidden and not telling your truth and not telling about all your inner conflict you have about being backstabbed and betrayed. And so then, you know, people, even because they fear that, they could take some, maybe repeat some poor past patterns of the past and do some things in a relationship because they're kind of in their pride and ego and their fear. They do things in the relationship that end up sabotaging the relationship that are very hurtful. And, you know, some people are like, you know, I might love you, but I can't do this. You have some things you need to deal with, and if when you're in the relationship with me and the environment was there for you to do it and you had the free will choice to work with me and you chose not to, well then you showed me what your free will choice was. And it maybe was to do things that you should have known better, but you did them anyway. You know, between the queen holding one sword and the 10 swords here means this five of wands has to do with the 9 of swords. And some people just really fearful of love. I'm so afraid of what if I work together with people authentically? What if I do put my authentic nature, and then what if it doesn't work out? You know, some people don't have a strong enough emotional foundation within themselves to love themselves enough to believe that I can pick myself back up. And so that's why some people will just be like, I just don't even want to do it, you know? I don't even want to deal with it. I'd rather be single and not even get in a love relationship. Just kind of be a player, or get in a relationship with someone else who might make their life more about money and materialism and would be willing to stay in a relationship with me for those reasons, or out of codependency, or out of fear, or ego. And then maybe neither one of us are in the relationship because of love, And then if it doesn't work out, no skin off my nose, you know? And then there are the people in shadowy energy that they are kind of really full of themselves and very prideful and egotistical and maybe self centered and narcissistic. And they think they're the cat's meow. Anybody should want to be in a relationship with them. And anybody who does get in a relationship with them should never, just being in a relationship with them should make you happy. Even if they're bossy and controlling, even if they're secretive, even if they're self centered, even if they do things that are hurtful and unkind. Because you have these things in life, being in a relationship with them, they would maybe put up with all of that for those things. And so then that's why they think you should put up with all those things. And they maybe have put up with those kind of things in their life. They might have dealt with people in their life or grown up with people. You know, where'd they get this idea that this is the right way to live your life? And they've somehow conformed to living their life that way. Again, some people grew up with people who it's like, you do not listen to your intuition, take bold, brave, confident action, and you know, you do not do that. You are supposed to be loyal to me or us, and you're supposed to hide your dreams, and you're supposed to hide the things that you want to do. For some, you're supposed to make us the priority in your life and even turn your back on loving people in your life because we should be your primary attention and focus in your life. If that's their original family or a friend group or a work group, you know, and they could be people who are used to indulging other people. You know, when we're in our shadow nature, we could definitely have some fear of change because all those things within us that we align with that make us feel safe and at home and comfortable. I'm in my fear. I'm in my insecurity. I'm in my emotionally defensive nature. I could get hurt out there. You know, we'd have to put an end to those ways of being to go out there and be more vulnerable, you know? And especially if they've kind of grown up with people who kind of live their life that way and they love those people and maybe they're codependent on those people for their sense of stability and security. And it's kind of like, I want to get in relationships with other people, you know, because I have these dreams and wants and needs and things to be in a relationship. But those people kind of take equal priority in my life. Again, if that's work, if it's our original family, if it's a friend group, because I'm codependent on them and I'm unwilling to become more independent of them. Some of the people who turn their back on loving people, who thought these people either want me to step out of my comfort zone and be more like emotionally authentic, and I prefer to live maybe a more emotionally shallow and superficial life. I think there's someone else I could go get in a relationship who might feel stuck, who's single, who might feel betrayed because things changed in their life and something painful happened in their life. I think I can go get in a relationship with that person. And I think my dreams will come into reality with that person. Well, the whole thing is, if they went to go get in a relationship with someone who they think kind of views life the way they do, who they think might be more ego driven or lives more from their mind than their heart, they also could be someone who has fears and insecurities of being backstabbed. And if that person knew that they had been in a relationship with someone who kind of is high vibe, you know, they're loving and nurturing and bold and brave and creative and works together with people in a emotionally balanced, loving way, And these two people don't really do that, and they kind of know the truth about that within themselves. Well, if they go to get in a relationship with someone who knows that the people they had been in a relationship are like that, well, those people could be afraid that I'm afraid if we have conflict, you're going to backstab me and go take action towards the loving people that, you know, are like my competition, and I don't feel like I can compete with people who are like authentic and warm and loving and just and fair, because I might be somebody who tries to manipulate and control people and maybe be a little emotionally cold and detached, and this person's like, yeah, but you look really successful in the world and you might have money and materialism, and I do want to be in a relationship with you because I didn't want to have to grow and mature with those people. But for some of those people, that relationship didn't work out because the person they went to go get in a relationship with feared being backstabbed and betrayed. Or some of them, if there was someone who experienced something painful, their relationship had ended. They saw these other people moving forward in life and they were in their ego about it. Why do those people seem to have this loving relationship and mine didn't work out for whatever reason? I'm in my competitive energy. I know I'm going to communicate to someone in that relationship to appeal to their egoic nature, their lust, their greed, their pride, their ego, to get them to backstab those people and come back and get in a relationship with me. Kind of like, you should pick me. Look at these things of the world that I have. I'm in my ego. And then some of those people went to go get in a relationship with that person. And then that person, kind of once they got their ego boost, then they backstabbed and betrayed him. Because I didn't want you to come get in a relationship with me because of love. I just didn't like that it looked like you and your partner were going to have your dream come into reality. And I was in my ego. I might not like the loving person you're in a relationship with because I know they're emotionally loving and nurturing. And I'm kind of prideful and egotistical and more materialistically driven. And I want to see if I can get you to come pick me over the loving people, because then it makes it seem like I'm like the loving people. I'm on the same level as the loving people. I'm the favored person. And then once they did, and their ego was satisfied, then they ended it. And some of the people who were tempted, so they were tempted to be in their shadowy energy. Well, when you're in your shadowy energy, you're not really seeing things clearly, and they might not be seeing someone who they might have went to go get in a relationship. They could have viewed them as loving. I'll just go get in a relationship with this person who hasn't healed. And they weren't seeing that the person they went to go get in a relationship with is maybe kind of self-centered and prideful and egotistical and competitive. Some of those people now could feel betrayed because someone they could feel tempted them into having inner conflict and they backstabbed and sabotaged themselves. Some of those people might want to come back up and pop up in the life of the loving people that they previously ended things with to see if they'll reunite with them and have a new beginning. But they haven't changed. They're the same person they are. I just don't want you to have your dreams come into reality with someone else where you could have that deep, meaningful relationship. I want you to get back in a relationship with me and indulge me again in a relationship. Have you healed or haven't you? See, that's what they don't know if any of these people want to come back in someone's life. That's the unknown factor. Have you seen the truth? Do you know that I might have done all this shit to become single because I'm either very bossy and controlling and you weren't doing things the way I wanted, but you keep moving forward, damn it. So now I gotta come back to try to see if you'll do it my way, but I just don't know if you know that I'm a bossy and controlling and prideful and egotistical person. Or if I did leave to go get in a relationship, I wanted to go indulge in the world or indulge in a relationship with someone else. Do you know that's why I did that? And if any of them do talk to you and they see that, oh shit, they did see the truth and they've healed, and there's in an energy of love, and they're listening to their intuition, and they know that I haven't grown or matured myself and gained any insight. I'm still the same person who wants to repeat these old patterns. I think the high vibe people will wish them peace, and they'll say, you know, I've reconciled myself with the past. I'm no longer in my ego about you. I was stuck for a while. You know, and that's sometimes what bossy or manipulative people do. You're not doing things the way I want. I don't like that you're in this high vibe energy. I want you to repeat this pattern of relationship that I like to live. And if you're not willing to do it the way I am, I'm going to backstab and betray you to put you in shadowy energy. I want you to feel stuck. I want you to be single from me, and I want you to feel betrayed, and I want you to have a lot of inner conflict, and I want you to feel backstabbed and betrayed. So basically, you're in the same energy as me, and then you'll quit being motivated and inspired to love and believe in yourself, and maybe you'll give up on your dreams, and instead of reconciling yourself with the past and having a new beginning, maybe you'll dream of wanting to come back and being in a relationship with me and loving me again in my pride and ego, even though I haven't healed and even though I don't want to see the truth of any of it. You know, high vibe, the hangman, is about becoming enlightened to the truth. This is in shadow. They don't want to look at life from any other perspective. They have this way of viewing the world, ways of viewing how they view relationships should work out, and they don't want to be illuminated to the truth. They think they have these things of the world, that they're a shining star, and people should fight to be in a relationship with them, maybe. And when they see that you're moving on, that could really bother them because they know you have these traits and characteristics about you that people would want to be in a relationship with you. You're not in shadowy energy. You're not manipulative and prideful and petty and envious and jealous and controlling. Oh my God, you're loving and intuitive and creative and inspired, and you make good decisions in relationships. You don't make decisions that are just best for you. Wow. Yeah. There's going to be other people who want to be in a relationship with you. Not so many people maybe would want to be in a relationship with these shadowy people. If some of those people right now, because some high vibe people in their life have moved on, and maybe even the shadowy people they initially went to go get in a relationship with moved on, because they could have found someone who had more money, more status, more image, you know, and if that's the reason for being in a relationship, but it's not because of love, you know, if anybody else comes around who's going to indulge them more in their ego or has more money, they're just going to go get in a relationship with that person. It wasn't based on love. So they could feel betrayed by a couple different people, maybe 5. You know, because they keep doing life the same way. I'm going to present myself as being high vibe Libra, but I really harness shadowy Libra energy, regardless of what zodiac sign they are. Sun sign. Some of those people, because they were not willing to make decisions that were best for everyone, turn their back on their own inner child, hopeful, believing nature, and say, no, I'm the boss. Things have to be my way or the highway. I'm sure it'll all work out fine. Some of those people can feel stuck. They either could be single and people aren't willing to be in a relationship with them, or they are in a relationship with someone who has all those things of the world that they want, But the person they could have taken action towards, because if they already know, I don't want to do loving people, I don't want to do people who listen to their intuition, I don't want to be in a relationship with people who want deep, meaningful relationships. I've already been in that kind of relationship, and I already rejected it. I don't want that. I'm trying to find someone who's single, who feels stuck, who feels betrayed, and has inner conflict about change. Some of those people could have gotten in another relationship with someone. If that person's intuitive, the whole cycle is going to start again. It's like, damn, 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 damn. Or they might get in a relationship with someone who is kind of maybe emotionally cold and detached, but they have all those things of the world that they want. They might be kind of stubborn and prideful, kind of full of themselves. And now the shoe's on the other foot. Now they'd have to be and stay in maybe a relationship with someone who's like them. But if that person has the things of the world that they want, well, now what goes around comes around. Now they're going to have to decide, am I willing to take the position in a relationship that I used to think other people should take the position of being in, when I thought I had those things of the world that people wanted. And if other people that they'd like to be in a relationship with either go chase other people for money or love themselves so they won't stay in a relationship with them, they might have to put up with someone who's like themselves, who might be really kind of controlling, because they certainly don't want any competition and for this relationship to end, because they also are prideful and egotistical, and they also want this dream to come in that'll look very victorious and successful. And this person has to decide, am I going to stay in a relationship with someone just to have those things? And why? Because the whole thing is, if people won't do the work to see the truth when they're in loving relationships, and they kind of backstab themselves and backstab other people because they're prideful and egotistical, well, guess what? They're probably going to end up in having to settle for being in relationships with people who are like themselves, and that might be just the thing to make them see the truth that they hadn't wanted to see. Because sometimes people can be in shadowy energy, but they kind of luck out finding a lot of loving, nurturing people in the world, and they never get their own ways of behaving mirrored back to them. Might be enough to make them see the truth. Oh my God, is this how I acted? Yes, it is how you acted. Or, and some of them might say, this is it. I don't care if I got inner conflict. I don't care if I feel backstabbed and betrayed. I look victorious and successful. The people in my life who I might have backstabbed and betrayed might be bothered by the fact that I'm either staying single and indulging in the world, or I'm getting in a relationship with someone new who seems like we got it all going on. And my whole purpose for being in the relationship is just to try to backstab the people who love themselves. And I'm trying to cause them inner conflict. Because, what a poor reason to be in a relationship, right? I'm going to get in a relationship with you because I want the people who loved themselves and believed in themselves, I want them to feel inner conflict and feel backstabbed because I'm unwilling to grow and mature myself. And I think the high vibe people should say, thank you, Jesus, keep him tied up. Keep him or her tied up until they see the truth. And I'm going to go live my life. And as some of you are healing and listening to your intuition and believing in your dreams, I think there will be other people in the world, because you're no longer investing your time, energy, and effort into these shadowy people in your life. You've healed. You're done healing. So this probably had been upright, and now you're done healing, and you're ready to take action to have a new beginning. And I think there's other people who are harnessing some high vibe. Well, just like you, they're harnessing high vibe Libra, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Aries, Scorpio, and they want to have new beginnings with you because they too have probably dealt with people like this. Some of those people could just be getting out and seeing the truth about the people of either how they've been living their life or the people they've been in relationship. It's like, why in the hell am I living my life like this? Or continuing to try to encourage someone who keeps showing me that their truth is they are not willing to change and they are all about pride or ego or something. I'm going to go get in a relationship with some of the loving people in the world. So the advice is positive and negative energy exist in this world of duality. Some people are going to want to be the next new person to indulge in a relationship with you. So listen to your intuition about people who might communicate with you that they would like to see their dream come into reality. Some of them, again, just want to indulge, and they also might have think that they can repeat this old pattern of the past. And I think it would be that you would communicate, I'm not repeating that pattern. I want authentic, deep, meaningful relationships. And if that's not your thing, I wish you peace. I'm moving on. What's coming up for the people who harness high vibe Libra? The World card. You have completed a cycle to have a brand new beginning. Why? Because of the Six of Cups. You have reconciled yourself with the past. You're emotionally balanced within yourself. And you've closed out, you've learned a lesson. Why were you drawn and attracted to certain people? Because there was something, some truth you hadn't seen from your past that you needed to reconcile. And sometimes that's just that you can be a loving person, have the best of intentions and love, and it's to see the truth that not everybody is motivated and inspired by love, and to accept that truth. You know, we can offer people love and encouragement and all that stuff, but they have to be willing to heal and choose to love is a free will choice. And some people don't choose that. And we need to learn to love ourselves enough to believe that we deserve to be in equally reciprocal relationships. And sometimes, if a pattern of yours is used to being in a relationship with people who might be a little more on the shadowy side, if it's just distant or emotionally little or bossy or controlling or whatever, you know, those are the kind of people that you're used to being in a relationship with. And being in a relationship with someone who's bold and brave enough to love you the way you love them, that could have been out of your comfort zone. It's like, I'm not used to this. You know, I'm kind of used to loving these kind of people. And you've learned a lesson from your past. You're ready to move forward in life. So, and for some of you, it could be someone else from your past. It could be someone you never got in a relationship with because you were kind of learning these lessons and repeating some old patterns. Or it could have been someone that you did know in your past. Maybe you didn't date them or you had dated them, but you know it had ended because you kind of felt stuck about knowing your own worth and value. And it could be somebody you're reuniting with, not the shadowy people from your life. Someone who you viewed as being a nurturing, loving, just, fair person. Just someone that, you know, you maybe both had some growing up to do. But they were someone who you feel acts with character and integrity, basically. What do the shadowy people not see coming? The King of Swords. Because of the Four of Cups. Well, for one, what they might not see coming, because people who are trying to manipulate other people could think that, oh, they love me, they're not going to go get in a new relationship. Basically, I'm using the love that the loving people have for me against them to try to manipulate them. A contest of wills. I want you to give up on wanting an just and fair and balanced loving relationship, and I want you to feel backstabbed and betrayed, so you'll come back and do the relationship my way. One thing they don't see coming is that there are other people in the world who harness high vibe Libra energy of the King of Swords, who are going to make the loving people an offer of love. And that could be something they didn't see coming. They also didn't see coming that the loving people in their life would speak their truth and stand up for justice and fairness and offer them and take that cup of love from the divine to love themselves to know their own worth and value and be bold and brave enough to move on from people who are unjust, unfair, manipulative, unkind, selfish, greedy, and bossy, and basically all around unloving. And they didn't see that coming. The other thing they might not see coming is that someone might communicate with them that they feel they missed an opportunity in love or want to offer them a cup of love. But the person who communicates to them will present themselves as a high vibe Libra. I'm just, I'm fair, I'm truthful, I'm honest. But the person they might get in a relationship with, because it's kind of what they align with within themselves, is rejecting love, because the shadowy people are living more from their mind than their heart, and that's the kind of people they're aligning with. And someone might communicate with them that there's something they're not, and then they're going to find out that that person isn't very loving. If you haven't learned to love yourself, you can get in a relationship with a shadowy person, and sometimes it's kind of like just to give you kind of what you give them, but they don't freely give of themselves. It's not like they're loving people where their cup overflows and they can freely give a lot of love to other people. It's like, oh no, I'm defensive of being backstabbed and betrayed too. But I think it's logical and practical because I'm single, you're single, we're both defensive, we both want to look victorious and successful in the world. This makes logical, practical sense. It won't be because of love. And if you get in this relationship with me, you're going to feel like you missed out on an opportunity in love. But it's all happening because the divine is trying to get these people to take that cup of love, to see the truth that it's about love. It's not about pride and ego and money and materialism and being bossy and controlling and living from your fear and your insecurity of being backstabbed. It's about listening to your intuition and love to guide you. And they keep letting their fear or their more materialistic worldly nature drive their life. So I think you high vibe people are going to have a new beginning. And the people who keep aligning with their shadowy nature are going to keep learning some difficult lessons, because they keep thinking they're the boss and that there is no other things going on in this world. But just like there's gravity, they could keep jumping out windows and it's not going to go well because gravity exists in the world. And there is cause and consequences to our actions, and other people do listen to their intuition. And if they try to keep manipulating other loving people, it's still not going to work out well. They are not the boss. They are not the end all be all. There is a higher truth and justice to aspire to, and other people believe in that. And if they don't, then it's only just and fair that they go get in relationships with people like themselves who don't want to do love. And if that causes them a lot of mental conflict and they feel like they didn't get the justice they deserve, it's because they didn't align with truth and love. So really, justice was served. They reaped what they sowed. So there you go, Libra. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.